We have finally broken out of 7 months of crazy consolidation within the price of Bitcoin, and most of us traders know the longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout, whether it be to the upside or to the downside. Tonight, we are going to cover the charts, what I'm currently looking at, where I'm looking to stack a few more entries before we could see the liftoff of the crypto market. So make sure that you watch all the way to the end, because I've also got 2 altcoins that I'm going to be showing you that I'm personally trading and keeping my eyes on for the next couple of weeks, as we may see some decent price action in them. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. So first off, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin, and what we can see is that we were consolidating in this multi-month consolidation phase, putting in what resembles somewhat of a bull flag, and finally we got a breakout, and we are now seeing a retest of that breakout. Now personally, what I want to see here is I want to see price hold above the $66,000 mark. You can see that we have a massive order block just below the 50 EMA here on the 4-hour time frame, and we could see a bit of a wick down into that level to scoop up some of the last minute buys from the institutions before seeing a continuation, we're hoping, to the upside. Now if we do happen to break below the trend line to around that 63k mark, I'll be looking at this market as more bearish and thinking that we may actually come all the way back down to the low 50s level. But let's be hopeful, guys. We've been sitting here watching these charts. I've personally been trading myself for close to 9 years now, and I've been waiting for this breakout. Everything's looking good. We're going to get into the data and show you why. But just quickly before we do, the last thing I want to show you guys is, if you're looking at the 4-hour time frame, you're looking at the 50 EMA. This is the green line here on the chart. What you'll notice is that during uptrends, the price respects that 50 EMA quite well. And once again, during downtrends, we see that price consistently gets rejected from that 50 EMA level. So another thing I'm looking to see is, if we do get a wick down, I do want to see us hold above that 50 EMA level to confirm that we are going to continue up. Now, on top of that, we are seeing that the average Bitcoin bull market cycle, it starts with 170 days after the halving, peaks at 480 days after the halving. This is average data. And what we're currently seeing is that right now we are at 180 days into the Bitcoin halving. So the previous cycle was started to pop off at 170 days. We are quite close to that breakout right now, given that we are 10 days over. We could be starting it a little bit later this time around. The data is showing us that never in the history of Bitcoin have whales been buying so aggressively. We can see here on a chart from CryptoQuant that the whale active, last active wallet addresses have been active very high, at very high levels. You can see they are accumulating massive historic amounts of Bitcoin, preparing for what could be the next big breakout, or as I like to call it, the banana zone of the market. We're also seeing that new whale wallets are actually holding 1.97 million Bitcoin. Each has over 1k BTC. Average coin age is under 155 days, excluding exchange and minor wallets like custodial. Their BTC balance surged 813% year on date, and they're currently taking up 9.3% of the total supply. And if we look at this, you got to think of the amount of people that are into the crypto market right now. We're seeing Michael Saylor, he holds a good percentage of the Bitcoin supply. We're seeing the US government also held some. Multiple governments around the world, including El Salvador. We're also seeing the whale wallets holding 2 million Bitcoin. There isn't a lot of Bitcoin to go around. We are going to eventually see, whether it be this cycle or next cycle, a supply shock where there's not that much Bitcoin left on the exchanges, and as people go to buy, which you're probably already seeing what's happening now, is price can move up or down really quickly because it's just so illiquid. There is just not enough supply to facilitate the high amounts of trading volume that is coming through for Bitcoin. So very exciting times. Guys, if you have liked this content so far, please make sure you smash that like button, share this video with friends, and basically what we're seeing right now is we have neutralized the strong Bitcoin sell walls that have been present for the last 18 months. So as we started to head into July, we saw that there was a large amount of strong sell walls that had been formed on the price of Bitcoin. You could see that was holding down the price, especially coming into April. We saw there was the highest level of sell walls, and we saw the price just couldn't break those highs because those massive sell walls were present. And what we are now seeing is, finally, after this 7-month consolidation, we have now broken a majority of those sell walls. We're about to flip into strong buy walls, which could also signal that the next leg of the bull market is about to come. Now, I do want to have a look at some data real quick. And as you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, you'll be aware that I talk a lot about the S&P 500 as it is a risk asset, and how Bitcoin is also seen as a risk asset, so that the price of Bitcoin often follows what the S&P 500 is doing. It's got a very close correlation. And there is one key metric that I do want to make you guys aware of. Although we are in October, and technically October has the best results for Bitcoin, there is a time in October, you can see looking at this chart here, that we don't exactly get the best price movement. We tend to take a bit of a retracement. I'm going to show you guys why. So first off, the lines on the bottom that are dashed, they are October during an election period. What we can see here, we're looking at the S&P 500, the green dashed line during an election, and you see that from the 18th, call it 18th, 19th of October down to the 25th of October, we usually get a little bit of a downtrend, and that really reflects what we started to see yesterday. You can see the price started to pull back as of the 21st of October. We are starting to get that retracement now. Now, why does this happen? And this is because we get an 18% of the entire S&P 500 is going to be reporting their earnings this week. And if we're already looking at the price of the S&P 500, what you will notice is that this is the second chart here. I'll just make that smaller. What you'll notice is that as Bitcoin started to pull back, you see the S&P 500 led the race. It pulled back first, and we then saw Bitcoin pull back. This is because they are both, S&P 500 and Bitcoin, looked at as risk assets. Now, the issue that we see here is that we know that the US economy isn't so great at the moment. Although they're saying, and the politicians are out there saying it's very strong right now, it's not. We're seeing record highs of credit card debt, showing that people don't actually have savings and are living on credit cards right now. And when people have less money, it means they have less money to go and buy goods and services, go and buy things that they want. You probably see a lot of people are cutting back on things that they're buying right now, or they're simply just buying less, but it's still costing them the same amount of money because of inflation. Let that one sink in. Buying less products, but for the same amount of money. So if less products are being bought, that means the company earnings could be much lower, which could cause a bit of a sell-off on the S&P 500. Some people, investors or traders, may see some stocks in the S&P, let's just say Target for instance, they're not selling as much products, they're producing less earnings. Some people might decide to sell their Target stock, and as a consequence of that, what we may see is a bit of a pullback on the S&P 500. And look, this is common to see. We could see this happen within this week, and we start to get a pullback to confirm the next lows for Bitcoin. Now, I'm hoping the pullback isn't too much. What I'm actually praying for is the fact that we have put in the low already. We can see that we have stayed above that 50 EMA on the 4-hour, and it's looking like we're getting a nice bullish morning star starting to form here to have the next continuation up. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens for that. Today I was recording, today's the 22nd of October. So by the time you guys see this video, let's see how the price reacts. And drop your comments in below to let us know if this video basically gave you any value as the price continues to move throughout the week. Now, last but not least, I promised you guys an altcoin that I'm watching, and that is going to be, for this week, I'm not a big fan of Cardano, but this week I'm going to be watching Cardano, and I'll tell you why. They have their global blockchain event. It's going to be held in Dubai on the 23rd to the 24th of October. Now, the significance of this is at these events, this is when all the developers for that particular blockchain will get together, talk about upcoming releases that they're building, or upcoming projects that are going to be launched on the Cardano infrastructure. And when this happens, we tend to see a bit of bullish momentum if the market conditions are good come into that particular coin. Perfect example of this is Atom. Atom had their Dubai conference October 21st to 27th. It's actually still on at the moment. And if we go here and have a look at the price of Atom, what we actually saw was quite a big push in anticipation of this event. You can see that from the 19th of October coming into the 21st, so 2 days before, we actually managed to rally just under 20%. That's a massive gain. Especially if you're trading leverage, 20% can be quite a big number. So keep your eyes on Cardano this week. We could see some moves on it. Just having a look at the chart right now. Let's see what I'm seeing. You can see that we are breaking out of a level of support right now. I do want to see this confirm. I'm also seeing the stochastic bounce from a mid-level, showing me that this is quite bullish, and where my targets for this could be will be at the top of this range at around 40 cents. Now, I'm not telling you guys to buy this, I'm just telling you guys to look at it, do your own charts, do your own research, set your own stop losses and positions, whatever you want to do. If you are going to trade, make sure that you never invest more than you can afford to lose, because remember, like I just told you guys in the earlier part of this video, we could get a bit of negative sentiment this week because of the S&P 500, which could shake up the market a little bit. So trade at your own risk. Look for your own positions and do charts. And if you're not sure on how to look at charts and how to analyze where to find better buying and selling opportunities, we're giving away our course for free. The link is in the chat to our platform. Here at Empire, we run a social media platform for crypto traders, basically like Twitter, but just keeping it to us crypto traders specifically, where we share our news. We've got educational content in here. We do live calls. I recommend you jump in. It is free. You will get a lot of insights throughout this platform and also see the charts and the opportunities that we're looking at trading. So, guys, I'm going to leave you there. Hope you all have a great trading week. All the best with your trades, and I'll see you on the video next week. Bye for now. Please take a minute to read and understand our disclaimer. If you do not agree to this disclaimer, please close this video.